Women of Reddit, what do you think would be the worst thing about being a man? Overall, I think it's more difficult for guys to get dates. People expecting that I could fight. Man, my ex-girlfriend chatting shit to some scary guy on a train who was acting out and then just turning to me with a "Are you going to let him speak to me like that?" look on her face when she pissed him off enough. Dude would have fucked me up if I wasn't so good at being diplomatic. AHH, the negotiator. As a woman, I will never ever have any doubt that my children are mine. Edit, apologizes to the men whose anxiety I raised by 150%. Well, unless there is a mix-up in the hospital. Not having your emotions taken seriously, then lashing out because of it, and then seen as violent because you just want to be understood. I had that with abusive parents, but normally people don't treat me that way because I'm a woman. I can't imagine what an entire life of not having your feelings acknowledged in a healthy way feels like. Suck it up and be a man. Having to chase after women. I'd give up halfway, honestly. My girlfriend has asked me before why I didn't date more or talk to more girls when I was single, and the truth it's just a lot of hassle and feels forced a lot of the time. I was never that guy to go up to a girl and her friends at a bar like, "Are you kidding me?" That sounds like a huge risk over reward type of situation to me. I always preferred meeting girls naturally, like through friends or events or something. Probably the stigma. I've seen a single father get shouted at for being with his kid when at a park for trying to kidnap children. The dude wanted to make his son happy, not molest him FFS. It's kind of annoying walking my dog around town and having to straight up ignore every kid. Don't talk to them, don't look at them. Halloween is the only day out of the year that I get to talk to the kids in my neighborhood. My brother is your average 6'10" dopey looking guy. The amount of rejection he faces on a daily basis from age 12 to now would crush my soul. Another thing is family court/alimony. My aunt never really had a job or did much of anything, yet she sustains her middle class life from divorce raping her ex-husband. She was even allowed to keep his dog that she wanted only because of spite. It is absolutely soul crushing. You finally get the courage to ask that girl you're crushing on out and she rejects you. Or offer to buy that cute girl a beer. She accepts and then walks off with the beer W/oh so much as a thank you. When your spouse, who you've dedicated years to and helped her get a life in order, decides to have an affair less than a year after you marry. Yay, it can be a bit much at times. Being considered a possible threat by strangers, probably. Like, I get it, you never know, but it would probably suck. Either that or the dick and balls. Like, they're just dangling there? Are they in the way? How do you straddle stuff? Will you accidentally squish them? Do you have to like, tuck them into your underwear? Being expected to be more effective at physical labor, being expected to do more dangerous work, receiving less empathy when struggling with emotional issues. My wife literally came home one night and told me she was leaving for another man, took my money, and filed for divorce. She also took and kept the dog. I was allowed one day off from work to deal with it. Our court date. If I even slightly mentioned it, people would go silent. And it's 6 months later and everyone expects me to be completely over it. It's torture. If the women don't get wet or come, or have fun in bed, it's your fault. If you don't get hard or come, or have fun in bed, it's also your fault. Granted, women I've been with when I couldn't get hard had performance anxiety due to various causes were always really understanding, and I was the only one frustrated, so that was nice I guess. Careful with drugs, kids, they don't tell you how they'll make your dick stop working. Not being able to take care of children without getting dirty looks. Jesus H. Christ, this is spot on. It's gotten to be a regular thing where someone wants to check to make sure I'm being escorted by my kids when I take them to a playground, but don't hover over them. Which kids are yours? Bitch, I don't need to answer your questions. If you're not satisfied I have kids here, go call the cops and report someone at a park minding his own damn business. Oh, you got stuck taking care of the kids today, huh? Giving mom a day off, finally? Dads know what I'm talking about. Honestly, probably people just assuming that you'll do all of the gross shit that no one else wants to do. Fixing up the car, unclogging the toilet, cleaning out the spider webs in the attic, scrubbing the mildew out of the bathtub. Guys are just expected to do it all without complaint because that's the manly thing to do. As a woman, I find it pretty unfair. Alongside that are hiding a boner, people assuming that you can't have mental illnesses/disorders, not being allowed to cry/show emotions/be insecure about your body. All of it is really unfair. I'm sorry guys. I was raped. Had a good one. Edit. I see a lot of men's stories in the comments, and while I don't know the perfect thing to say, thank you for having the courage to come forward, and also I'm sorry that you have such a thing to contribute to this at all. Having to be the person physically in charge in a threatening situation. Like always being with a man when walking home from a party in a sketchy area at night. Yes, there is safety in numbers, but the dude is expected to be protective regardless of level of awareness, self-defensive, or drunkenness. That's a lot of pressure. There was a comedian who made a joke along the lines of, you wanna know why men get $1 more an hour? Cause if we are on a sinking ship, you get to leave and take the kids and I gotta fucking die. Edit. It was Bill Burr. I cannot fathom how a guy sits down to poop and their junk is what, just chilling inside the toilet? Do you lift them and rest them on the toilet seat? I have no idea how dudes do it. Do you get backsplash on your ball sack? I ask these questions to my boyfriend. I'm convinced he thinks I'm a lunatic, but I just think balls would be incredibly inconvenient. Please refer to backsplash as its proper scientific name. Poseidon's kiss. I would not be allowed a moment of weakness. Bad day. You can't cry unless your mother just died. Hurt yourself. Suck it up and go to the hospital. Feeling self-conscious about your body? Nobody cares. Feeling ill? So moan how SMRN cold. Man cold? People say that. You're the ones who have to kill the big hairy spider. The fuck I do? Yeah, not in my house. There's a clear procedure. I kill anything that scurries on the floor, spiders included, and he kills anything buzzy. I still think I win though. Wasps are basically spiders that can get all up in your face. Hands down always being the villain. A colleague of mine was a bit on the heavier side, but decided to get into shape and started jogging. So he jogs around his block daily until his smartwatch tells him his quota for the day is full. That day he was a bit late, but went for a jog when the sun was setting. Not many people out there, but as he was on his way, some girls saw him jogging their way, got scared and called the cops on him for obviously trying to chase them to rape them or something. Now, the guy didn't know about the call. He just sees two girls seeing him coming, turning around and running away, and he's like, what the fuck? Until the cops come for him. You know, for the biggest offense in the whole human history, trying to get fit. I felt really bad for him. Being abused in public by a woman and having people laugh instead of intervening to help you. Also the whole to be a man you have to act a certain way. Brutal. Oh, this just happened to me a few weekends ago. Getting hit in public and having no option but to try to escape the situation is no fun. Relationships. Getting a date with a woman, finding a sew, or even just hooking up with a woman. It all seems like bullshit for men. Being expected to be the breadwinner generally by society. Being less likely to gain custody of my own kids in a separation. Being disposable in times of war. DIY. And having to deal with my own balls. What if I sat on one? Ouch. Having an even harsher reaction when I go against gender roles. I mean, as a woman, there's backlash sometimes, but there's a whole movement very publicized that tells me that I can do whatever I want, and fuck the naysayer. I don't feel a man that would want to do something for girls or for women as that much support. Being arrested for defending myself against an abusive partner. I would be terrified of my dick getting stuck in a zipper. Just wear underwear. Seriously, in 23 years of wearing jeans, that has never happened to me. Good point, but it still terrifies me. To everyone who thinks it has something to do with our dicks/balls, I promise we have much bigger problems than our nutsacks sticking to our thighs. We are increasingly assumed to be predators, apparently. We have a suicide rate that is through the roof compared to women. We have a harder time getting custody in divorces because it's assumed that women are the obvious caretakers by default. Increasingly there's tons of stuff about girl pride, but little boys are pretty well screwed. If they try to be proud of being a boy, I'll gladly take some bull sweat if all that other stuff will go away.